So this episode.
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey, we're both here. I didn't even know that. I just thought I was talking to nobody.
What about this episode?
When's release date again?
November 1st.
Oh, November 1st. That's kind of cool.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's the day after Halloween.
It's more than just the day after Halloween, my good man.
Why is that?
Because November 1st is Dia de los Muertos.
Ooh, I love that.
So in celebration, I think we should do an episode with some creepy inspired slang terms. Our very little known, Dia de los Slangos, if you will.
Ooh, I like that. Can I wear my Halloween costume?
You're not?
No.
Then what is that ridiculous getup you're wearing?
I'm Matthew Kean from Hang Out with Your Slangout.
Ugh.
Wait a minute. I did that
That's
wrong.
gross.
I'm Matthew Kean from Hang Out with Your Slangout. Ugh, it's gross. See? It's uncanny.
It is uncanny. It is uncanny. Over here, being Dan Messersmith.
I knew your voice could go that high. Don't you ever lie to me again.
It's too late for that now.
This is really starting out pretty scary, though.
Super scary.
So I'm thinking, okay, I love the idea of this episode. So maybe we do want it, and maybe it's a little bit longer this time.
Yeah, I mean, if people can put up with this for more than 30 minutes.
Well, they're going to have to.
Well, I mean, they don't have to. They can hit stop. We just prefer that they don't. Don't hit stop.
Don't hit stop. Don't hit stop. I didn't scare you or anything.
No.
I might have just scared them all off our fans. That was terrifying.
Yeah. So if any of you are still listening, welcome to the first annual, also possibly last annual, we're not sure yet, Dia de los Slangos.
I'm your haunted host, Dan.
And I'm your ghoul friend, Matt.
That's pretty good.
I know.
Damn it, why didn't I think of that?
Because you're not as smart as me.
Damn it, why am I not as smart as him?
I don't want to say genetics, but I don't not want to say it either.
So our ghosted episode was pretty good.
Sure. I mean, if you say so.
Well, for this, this spooky haunted corpse edition of Hang Out with Your Slangout, I figure we're just going to tackle some scary words, get everybody
Why
in the
corpse?
vibe.
Why do we need what? Who did you murder?
I murder my thirst every day with liquid death. Dun dun dun.
Shameless plug.
Trying. But Ghosted went well, and do we want to recap Ghosted real quick? Because you do it to me all the time.
What, recap things for you? Because you're not that bright.
You want to recap? You want to help me out with two things then?
Yeah, sure. So to recap for Dan
and our many, many, many fans.
Ghosted, they're not that tiny. Ghosted means basically when you are having a conversation with somebody and then they just disappear. And this isn't like a real world thing. This deals mostly with the texts and the instant messages and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Often referred to as being left unread because you can see that they have read your message and are refusing to respond.
And that makes you a bloody douchebag. That's why it's red.
Bloody douchebag is a little more, I don't know, visual than I needed it to be.
So basically, he ghosts me all the time. I'm like, hey, dude, we need to record. He sees it, and then he never talks to me again.
You think he would learn?
Stop texting him.
But he does not. And so eventually I'm required to give in and continue recording.
And you figured I would learn to not to keep podcasting without pants on.
You would think.
Yeah. But since it's our special haunted episode.
It's our what? It's our fish special?
Yeah, it's our fish splash special.
Wait, it's our special haunted episode? Are we only doing the word haunted?
No, it's our special Day of the Dead, spooky, delicious, spectacular, scary.
So we actually have a phrase for it, and I don't know if he's avoiding it on purpose or because he doesn't remember it. I'm going to go with B probably, but bienvenidos, Dia de los Slangos, all our Hoso fans.
Mm-hmm. That's it?
Yeah, Dia de los Slangos. It's the day of the slang.
The day of the slang. That was a good day.
It's a Thursday.
That was a Friday.
No.
It started a Thursday, went into Friday. It was a long slanger.
It was a Thursday.
They can't always be on Thursday.
No, but this one was.
What shouldn't it be on Wednesday? That's when our stuff drops.
Yeah, but what day did we come up with the podcast?
I don't know what day I came up with this podcast.
You didn't come up with this podcast.
I'm pretty sure. Oh, I guess it was a Thursday because it was Thanksgiving when I came up with this podcast.
It was Thanksgiving when you suggested a podcast, and Thanksgiving when I suggested what the podcast should be about.
No.
Which, for those keeping score at home, always occurs on a Thursday.
And for those who are keeping score at home, yes, it's true. I am the ideas man.
This podcast is over.
No, it's not, my friend. We've got a lot more to talk about.
I'm about to ghost this episode.
Son of a bitch. So, all right, I've had enough ghosts because I get ghosted enough with you in real life. But I heard...
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
He ain't afraid to ghost his best friends either. Wait. We've already figured out
That's a big leap, bud.
So you don't want to be my brother. You want to be my best friend.
I'm not even sure I want to be your co-host, but, this is what we do, I guess.
I got ruby red squirt.
You did.
I'll put my pants back on.
It's not enough. It's too late.
Fine. I'm going to put that jack-o'-lantern back where it was. And that's not a glow stick, my friend.
No, it's much, much smaller. So...
Can't argue with that.
So where do we start? We've got our Day of the Dead, our Dia de los Slangos, our ode to all things fall and spooky and Halloweenish
and scary-ish.
And there are a couple of slang words that we'll go through quickly. I think that would make sense to just kind of sort of play into that.
An amuse-bouche of holiday spooky terms.
I don't think you've ever formulated an idea quickly enough for these to be called amuse-bouches.
Bouches?
Yes.
All right. Why do you say that?
Well, because an amuse-bouche is one bite.
Yes, but they're going to have many of them. So it's a bouches.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you can't put together a thought succinct enough for it to be one bite of knowledge.
Sure I can. I have so much knowledge coming at me. These people are going to be eating it like it's popcorn. They're going to be like Pac-Man up in this episode.
Yeah.
Already got them with Ghosted. Sure. Which leads to our next bite of knowledge.
I just, like maybe, I don't know, like I don't know.
Who can't get there now?
I'm just saying your analogies suck.
Ooh, that was really smart.
So yeah, ghosted leads to, I guess, our first word that we'll go over briefly.
Haunted.
Sure. We don't have to do a lead into the word. We'll just do that. That's fun.
Okay, we can back that up. Go ahead and do your
No, we're good.
Let's lead right back into this nothing word. Let's go ahead. Let's say it. What was your lead up? I stepped all over his wiener.
Well, a ghost is something that it's an apparition. It goes away, sort of, right? Just
sure.
You can't see it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you start seeing it again, as they do at Lee Williams High School,
not just there, other places too.
I'm pretty sure it's just there. It's the only time I've seen it where I felt that they were actually proving that there were ghosts.
All
then it becomes what?
Sad.
Right. Haunted. So this word is going to be haunted. So what is haunted, Dan? I feel like I should probably let you talk, because if I just let you respond, it's going to take a while.
What? Haunted is when you sit down and have a nice meal at Taco Bell and it gets you later. Haunted.
I don't actually, that
a little bit.
It's probably accurate.
All right. Not the most smart thing I've ever said, but
no.
No.
But it's also not the dumbest. And so you've got that going for you.
But I got a pretty high bar for the dumbest,
which is nice.
Yeah. And I haven't even put my dumbest shit on here yet. So
yeah. So but that's not the definition that we're looking for haunted.
So haunted is after you've been ghosted, and that person
who has ghosted you,
yes, will check in on you on time to time on your social media. Like they'll see on your Instagram posts. So basically they're stalking you.
Right. To be clear, checked in, not like, hey, how are you doing? Checked in. Like, checked in, why are they watching my story? That's really creepy. Checked in.
So, and I didn't know that word until after we had done our episode on ghosted.
I would bet that 10 to 20% of hauntings happen because the person is too stupid to understand that you can see who has viewed your story.
Some apps you can't. But I know that changes too.
So
I'm gonna go on a limb. Then you don't haunt anybody. Like if you ghost them, you're done.
Yeah, I don't. When we were going through the ghosted episode, there was only, I couldn't think of more than maybe one instance where I've really ghosted somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Not like the just not paying attention to you thing. Like
I have to admit, I make that pretty easy for him. So
like legitimately ghosting somebody. Yeah, you don't revisit that and figure out how they're doing or anything like that. That's just like you made that decision.
Mm-hmm.
If you've decided that you may have fucked up, sorry, that ship has sailed.
It just seems like a really petty way of someone being like, if they're going to ignore you, then they only want you in for certain moments. And usually it's probably for, I don't know, booty call or to get something from you, like if they need a ride. So that's why they would keep track of you. And it just seems like a really petty.
Or it's basically just to fuck even further with that person's head.
Yeah. There are lovely people in this world that
and makes them think that you still care when you stopped caring a long time ago. And that's why the ghosting happened in the first place.
Mm-hmm. I'm so glad.
Which is a reminder that every time that you come across a haunted house,
mm-hmm.
those ghosts don't care about you, man. They're just trying to make you think of them again.
They're just living their lives.
They're being real selfish, and you need to just ignore it.
I think lots of those ghosts that haunt places, it's just energy. I don't think they even realize they're there.
The ghost doesn't realize that they're there?
No, because they're on some other plane of energy where they're just living their life where they're stuck.
What kind of plane?
Like a biplane or a Messerschmitt. That's my plane.
I think it's a knife.
Well, it is too, but we're named after a plane.
This explains a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's haunted, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know how spooky I feel about that, but
I guess it could be spooky. But I was starting to say that I just being that way or doing that to somebody now, I would have never done that when I was the age of the people who are making up these words that we're making fun of now.
No, but I mean, some of the words that we're going across in ghosted and haunted are two of those words.
Mm-hmm.
Are more, they're relevant now because you have the ability to actually do those things.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like ghosted, you couldn't really ghost somebody when we were kids.
Yeah,
because they wouldn't intentionally know that you were ignoring them without you being there. Like you had to be there.
You would have to be like on the playground and be like in front of the guy, and he would turn around and you have to run and hide, and they'd be like, "Oh shit, where'd he go?"
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's not like that in today's world. You can ghost somebody and literally never have to see them again until that one random time where you're both at Jamba Juice, and then.
Yeah, I could see you haunting me on the playground when we were kids.
Ooh.
Because I'm a little bit older, so you'd have been like, "Oh, there's where the cool kids are at."
No, I would have said
Yeah, and
that's
you'd have
where
been-
the old kids are at.
You'd have been looking through the fence. Like,
I would have been
oh,
like, I bet you I can kick their ass at Foursquare.
you probably could. But man, you put a badminton racket in my hand, you're done. Dunzo.
I don't think that's true.
Dunzo.
I don't think you know how good I am at badminton.
I don't think you know that I was the champion in 8th grade at badminton.
I don't think you know that I was a champion 4 years running in PE at badminton.
Yeah, it was PE. That's what I was into. It was so bad that the championship went so long that my PE class was right before lunch and people came in and we were still having our stupid badminton championship going while people were eating.
Well, yeah. I mean, if both of you stay at 0 points for that long, it's.
Did you have to change out in back then for PE?
You mean like change into a PE uniform?
Yeah.
Yes.
Was it a school one or one you did by yourself?
It's cool.
Yeah. Ours were pretty bad. And let me say, they were the 80s shorts that like cut up on the sides. So they were like little booty shorts, and like the t-shirt was always 10 times bigger than it needed to be. So you had that going. And so that was really fun to be stuck in the middle of the auditorium while people are trying to eat their food and they can see my booty as I'm whooping ass on badminton. And not to mention, badminton was such a cool sport back then.
The weird thing was that day was sloppy Joe and cream corn day. It was
That'll haunt you.
just not pretty in the restrooms after that. I'll tell you that much.
Yep.
Yeah, our uniforms weren't like that. Our PE uniforms, like they were shorter inseam than I like to wear, like 5-inch inseam or something like that. And then in high school anyway, our PE shirts were reversible.
Really?
Yeah. So that like if we were playing a game where you had opposing teams, all you had to do was flip to the other color.
Okay. So PE, we in high school.
But that's because I went to a fancy Catholic high school where there was money flowing like this, the Swallows to Capistrano. I don't know.
So basically, it was just you hanging out in a plaid skirt, kicking people's ass in Foursquare.
No. First of all, Foursquare happened in elementary school when we didn't have PE uniforms. We had them in junior high, but those were simpler.
Well, and the other version of haunted is, well, I guess we kind of talked about it, but like ghost haunting you or house that's haunted, right?
Sure.
Actual word.
In fact, I think they call it haunted house instead of house that's haunted.
No, there's the house that's haunted and
There's
a
the
haunted house.
There's a house on Haunted Hill.
There's that too. There's the House of 1,000 Corpses.
Misnomer. There were less than 1,000.
There's House 1 and House 2. Those are 80s movies we should talk about.
Well, we're not going to talk about that now.
All right.
What do you want to do next?
Well, obviously haunted, ghosts. What does a ghost say?
Boo.
Boo hoo.
No, they're generally not crying, so I don't understand. What?
Some ghosts cry.
Like Patrick Swayze?
Mm-hmm. Too soon, dude.
That ghost makes me cry.
Does it?
I don't know. I don't know that I've ever seen the movie, but it seems like a very sad moment.
Yeah, it was a girl's movie.
Right. So that's why I'm looking at you and trying to figure out how you felt about it.
About that?
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't stand Demi Moore, so I didn't even want to watch Ghosts.
Yeah, but what about Whoopi Goldberg?
Actually, that was back when Whoopi was pretty cool, right?
Sure.
The height of her powers back then.
You couldn't stand Demi Moore?
No. She was obnoxious, dude.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe it was like the sailor's raspy voice where it sounded like she had smoked all her life and maybe other things whenever she talked. Her characters are always not really nice.
No, but I mean,
so I kind of like to watch people I don't want to hate, right?
I don't know that that's always true, but okay. Yeah.
So what do you think of when we say boo other than a very scary ghost?
If you say it twice, I think of hurting myself.
A boo
or a tiny bear that has a larger bear friend.
Yeah, I can't believe you didn't go to the bear first. Oh, boo boo. Hey, boo boo. Yeah, there you go.
Yogi?
Can you do Yogi the Bear in an Australian accent?
No.
Come on, it's for the Slangos.
No, it's not.
I guess you should do it in a Spanish accent.
Trust me that they do not listen to your fucking stupid amalgamations of impressions.
What do you mean?
I need you to do this impression combined with this impression while standing on top of a turkey eating cheese.
Well, the cheese thing is just ridiculous.
Well, the turkey's eating cheese. You obviously can't do the impression while you're eating cheese.
Sounds like somebody's a little bit jealous.
Hola, boo boo.
That's not bad. All you had to do was that, but you went in and you just long ass spiel.
Also, boo boo in that sense is spelled B-U-B-U.
Is it?
If it's Spanish, yeah.
Well, how do you feel about Mahjong Boo?
Mahjong boo?
Mm-hmm.
Like women that play Mahjong? Like Joy Luck Club?
No, it's a bad guy in Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, I have no idea what that means.
And he spells his name B-U-U.
Oh.
Yeah. But for the
Mahjong?
nerds, I had to throw that out there.
But why Mahjong?
I don't know. Half the characters in Dragon Ball Z are named after food. So,
But Mahjong's not a food.
well, I know, but I'm just saying they just do weird words.
But Mahjong's not a weird word. It's a game.
Okay. We use the game of death then. My friend.
Anyway.
Would you call your wife Boo? Not because she's scary.
I think I've snuck up on her and said boo before. Yeah, I mean, I would. Well, yeah, I would. I don't think I'd say it to her.
Do you think it's a cute way of referring to your significant other?
I think that I have heard it said where it sounded cute.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that when I say it, it sounds cute.
Let's hear you say it.
Nope.
Candace, get in here. I want to hear him say boo. I think it's kind of cute.
You think saying, hey, boo, is cute?
When I do it, because I'm a goddamn gentleman.
You know, I've been around it. I'm not going to lie. Ain't that cute.
What? You're looking in the wrong end, my friend.
Gross. But I do know that it has been used for that. In fact, I think there was a song in the late 90s, early 2000s called My Boo.
Yep. That's a big one.
It's a super popular word. Does not sound spooky at all.
Depends on who says it. I bet I could make it really spooky.
Probably. I'm sure there are a lot of people that aren't allowed within 50 yards of a school that could make it sound really creepy.
He didn't even hesitate on that. I barely got that sentence done, and he was like, probably.
Yeah.
Yep.
100%.
He's all like, he pushed his chair back a little bit. So he was like, yep, here it comes.
Show me potato salad. Yeah. So I think it's a fine word, and I'm not mad when people use it. I just don't think that it fits me to use it.
No, I bet it'd be badass if you did it. Like, I bet you Candace wouldn't expect it, and you just dropped it, and you did it seriously. You were like, oh, come on, boo.
In a world. Hey, boo.
My boo. Hey, boo-boo. So the one thing about, these three words we've thrown out here, ghosted, haunted, boo, kind of all fit each other, right? Kind of all in the same realm.
I mean, when we're talking about Halloween, sure.
Or ghosts. Or the supernatural. But they also we're always getting on all these slang words about how one of our pet peeves with them is they don't make sense. And though ghosted is kind of it's like reversible of like what it technically means, but It's still, to me, it was still a clever way to talk about that, or how to put that in context. And I think haunted fits that as well. It doesn't feel like it's like the old school thing where you would say they actually used a real word for a slang word instead of making up something stupid like Riz.
Yeah.
So I feel like these three words all kind of fit that, where it's organic and works.
Yeah, I would say that.
Can you say it's scary for our scary episode?
Yes, I would say that.
Why do you sound like the guy from Oz when you do that?
I don't know.
You need to sound scary.
I don't know how to do that.
Favorite scary movie?
None.
You're not a scary movie guy?
No. Ever since I watched the video for Thriller when I was 4 years old, I don't watch scary movies.
See, now that sounds like a joke, but that actually, back in the day,
When you're 4, that's terrifying.
even when you're a little older, it was pretty rough. Some of the first stuff is
Like
pretty edgy.
The guy that did the makeup for that video,
It's one of the best.
absolutely one of the best, and did some fantastic work on that video. Like Michael looked terrifying and not like creepy. I'm going to be too close to your child. Frightening. Like he looked legitimately frightening.
Yeah. Yeah. That first, was it 5 minutes, 10 minutes of that when he actually wolfs out? Yeah. I was just like, well, that was a little edgier than it needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because the stuff at the end, he's creepy looking, but it's that stuff wasn't scary. But the first stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So ever since that, I basically haven't watched scary movies. Now, when I say that, there are movies that I guess are scary that I don't know if I consider scary movies that I have seen. Like The Shining has scary moments. I don't necessarily consider it a scary movie.
It's one of the best scary books.
Yeah. I don't know how to read, so in Book of Revelation class in high school, we had to watch The Prophecy. It's kind of scary.
I'm trying to remember who's in that. Is it the guy who plays oh my god, I can't remember his name.
The greatest Jay Moore impression of our time.
What?
Christopher Walken.
But isn't there somebody else in it?
Yeah, there are several somebody else's.
Like the main guy is not Christopher Walken, right?
Nope, the main guy is Christopher Walken.
Well, he was just the bad
He
guy.
plays the archangel Michael.
The Prophecy. Well, I can't remember this guy's name. He plays the Vision, right?
You play the Vision. Are we even talking about the same movie?
I think so.
Are we?
Yeah.
I should probably watch it again. Steve Hittner.
I know I've seen the movie. I'm trying to remember which movie I'm getting that mixed up with.
Well, so there was a 1979 movie just called Prophecy, not The Prophecy. There's the Mothman Prophecies.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. I think, is that Richard Gere?
It is Richard Gere and Laura Linney.
Yeah. Yeah, you haven't watched any real scary movies then. No Nightmare on Elm Street. No Friday the 13th.
No.
What about the classic, The Exorcist?
The Watercist?
The Exorcist.
No.
So here's the thing. That movie scared the living bejesus out of me, and I am not a believer. Yet that movie still disturbs me. And they've just remade it, and a new one's coming out, and they have put 2 girls in it that are possessed, and it's giving me the creeps.
They're in that Book of Revelation class. We also had to watch The Omen.
Oh yeah, the original, the one from the 80s,
the good one.
Okay, I haven't seen that in a long time, but yeah, I remember all the Omens.
That was pretty creepy too.
That Shiloh kid. Yeah, The Exorcist used to be the one that I was like, you know what was really, well, you probably didn't see it, was Poltergeist. Steven Spielberg movie. It is way over the top scary. Like some of the visuals in it. I think it's like PG-13, but it like has people ripping their faces off and stuff in it. It has a clown. That's what scared me for clowns.
Yep, that's enough.
There you go.
It doesn't even need to be a scary clown, just a clown. Terrifying.
Boo.
Yeah, so that's why I don't watch scary movies.
You just can't take it?
I don't enjoy the feeling of being scared.
You don't like that anxiety?
For some people, I don't even know that it's anxiety. For some people, I think that they like that feeling of adrenaline that comes with being scared.
It's like a release, but it's not for you.
No.
Okay.
In fact, just things that involve adrenaline in general, I've never really been into.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, this is the scary episode, so you could at least fake it.
Yeah.
Scary TV show? Anything? When is what's
just the 10 of us? No, that's not scary.
No, it's scary as hell. What is can you remember the time that you were scared the most? Ever been scared?
No.
Really? It doesn't even have to be like haunted scary like that. It could just be like a moment you were the scaredest you've ever been. Maybe he doesn't get scared. Maybe you're like a superhero.
No, I get scared. I just don't put myself in a lot of situations to be scared.
Well, a lot of times
I was kind of scared when
I asked you to do this podcast.
I'm still scared of that every day.
Terrified.
No, my freshman year in college, we went down to San Diego, and then we did go across the border to Tijuana for one of the evenings.
Tijuana can be scary.
No, Tijuana was fine. When
What?
we came back, though, because we had gone down on the train, and they have a pass called a round tripper, which basically you pay twice as much to make sure you can get to where you're going and back.
Okay.
And I don't want to bring this up. Hopefully none of my fraternity brothers are listening that all argued with me, but I said, no, we don't pay this smaller amount. That would be a round trip if we were only going this far, or it's one way to where we're going. Nobody wanted to listen to me. And so we were on our way back on the train, and security came by and kicked us all off because we did not have the value to get back to where we were going.
Okay.
At like 3 a.m. in San Ysidro, California. Also, the next train did not come for another hour. So you had 13 or 15 really tired college kids, most of which were freshmen. So either had drank a little in high school or maybe a little since we had started college, but not enough to know how to really handle that.
Were most of you white?
What's that got to do with it?
A bunch of white guys in the hood? That's scary. For you.
Oh, I was like, I'm sure the hood would be fine with a bunch of white guys there. No, I guess. I don't know. Anyways.
It's one of those situations that arises.
So about half an hour into the hour that we had to wait for the next train to come, these two cars slowly drive through the parking lot and like check out our group. Now, at this point, we're half an hour in, and at minimum, half the people are asleep.
Okay.
Just on benches and stuff like that. Like just waiting for the next thing to come. Because again, it's 3:30 in the morning.
It's been a long day.
We've been drinking when we're not used to drinking, or at least drinking heavily when we're not used to drinking heavily. And so they make that pass through, and I think they were just kind of sizing it up.
Yeah.
Because they came back 10, 15 minutes later, and a couple of guys jumped out and basically were yelling in everybody's face who was awake just to try to get them to react. Like as soon as you reacted, that was their cue to, oh, they're okay with it, so now we're going to beat their ass.
Oh, yikes.
And so a lot of us were really good. Two of the guys, I think it was Kevin and Kellen that were doing it. They were like playing nickels where you flip to see who can get closer to the line.
Yeah.
And the guys are like literally yelling no more than 3 inches from their face. And they just keep flipping and go pick up their nickel and come back to the line. Yeah, it was amazing. It was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen, because it was like, I have no idea how they're doing this. But one of the guys, Chris, ended up reacting, and then that's when kind of all hell broke loose. Now, what's kind of funny is when we had gone down there, one of the things that they sell in Tijuana are these like the worst ceramic pottery of like things that are moderately famous. So there's like, they'll have like surfing monkeys.
Okay.
And I don't know why somebody bought a Betty Boop doll, and I think pretty much the reason they bought it is because I think the goal was to make it look like she was sitting on a tree, but instead it looked like a stream of shit coming out of her ass. Yeah, it was so bad.
Oh my God.
And but one of the guys that was being the threatening one ended up picking that up and smashing it over the top of Chris's head.
Oh,
making him bleed pretty bad and start to pass out,
covering him in shit.
And yeah, and I think it was the surfing monkey was the other one we had gotten, and it was just like sitting on the ledge of this large planter. And one of the guys, I think it was my big bro George, he just tipped it into the thing so that nobody would find it, so nobody else got hit with it.
Wow.
And we basically just rounded everybody up and started to run just to get out of the way. They go away. Finally, we wait for the next train to come through. The next train comes through. We get on. We tell the security on that train everything that happened. They can't believe that it happened that way because why would just collect the money when we get to wherever we're going? Why are you kicking people off a train at 3 a.m? And Chris ended up suing and got a really nice truck out of the deal. So, but it was terrifying in the moment because we didn't know, do these guys have guns?
That would be really scary, actually.
Yeah. Like I'd rather see a gun than not know whether or not somebody has a gun.
And there was how many of you? Like a dozen or more?
Yeah, there were like a dozen. And there really weren't that many of them, but they were wide awake and on the offensive. So like it was not a good situation for us. And even with having like 12, 15 of us there, you know, we're all in various states of awake or sleep. And so during the whole course of it, I think there were 2 or 3 of us that didn't even wake up until like we had started running away to just find a place to be to get away from them.
How awful would that be to just wake up and have to start running in terror?
Yeah. I don't know. You can ask them.
Okay. I also think like I actually think you guys were lucky you had such a big crowd. I mean, if it had been like 3 guys,
yeah. If it had been less people, I'm sure it would have been worse. There were enough of us, and my assumption is that those guys weren't actually carrying a weapon. That I think they knew if everybody woke up and got involved, then it wasn't going to be great for them.
Yeah.
Or at least had the potential of not being great for them. But yeah, that was the scariest moment.
I have 2 stories. I will only tell you one because the other one is, I'll tell you out, off the air, but
wait, you what?
And it's super personal, and it's like there's no reason to make light of it at all. But the second time that I was ever the most scared involved my daughter. My daughter, she was 2 at the time, and my wife, she was at work. I just picked up the kids from babysitting. So my daughter was 2. My son was, or maybe she must have been 3 because my son was like a baby. He was still in the car seat. Get into the house, put the kids away, or think so. So I'm getting changed and all this stuff.
Put the kids away. Did you keep them in crates? What the hell?
Oh yeah, totally. It's
that
only
story checks.
It's the only way to do it, and it's shot collars and everything. But then, as I'm laying Jaden down or whatever, I go to find my daughter Liv. I can't find her anywhere. And this was our first house we had bought. It's like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, garage and all that stuff. And I don't know why. Immediately, I thought she had run out into the street. So I rip open the front door,
and
run
if
out.
Liv now, I mean, story kind of checks.
Yeah, kind of. So
she likes to live on the edge a little bit.
Yeah, and she always wants to go away. She's always like, doesn't want to be at home. So I look out there, don't see her. But as a parent, it's like that instant of where you think the kid's lost. It's the scariest thing in the world. So I come back in.
And when you're the only one in charge, there's nobody else to blame.
And you see how bad I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know my wife. There's consequences, dude.
Yeah.
So I check each room, screaming, Liv, where are you? Liv, where are you? I check every room twice. And then I check the closets. I check them twice. I'm looking in places, when you start to get desperate and you're like looking under couches, but the couch is only 6 inches. There's no way she fits under there. But you're like, maybe. And I'm in that mode. I look in the laundry baskets. I look in everything. I go out back. And all I can think of is like, okay, it's been like 3 minutes, 4 minutes. She's got little legs. She can't get down the road that far. So I'm running out in the middle of the street.
She's not a basset hound. She's not going to get 3 doors down and fall asleep.
So I'm looking down the road and I'm just, the one thought that hits me is like, what am I going to tell my wife? What am I going to tell her? Because I technically didn't do anything wrong.
We had a good run, babe.
I was like, do I just leave? Do I take the kid and leave?
Oh, for the sake of the episode. We had a good run, boo.
Yeah, sorry, boo. So I stroll in, my heart's racing. I'm like, do I call 911? I'm just like, one more time. Let me look around everywhere. So I hit the garage, I hit the bedrooms, I hit all this stuff. As I'm walking by our 3 foot tall, 2.5 foot tall laundry basket that was in my bedroom that I looked in, because it has like holes and it's like white and it has holes, and it had like a top that has holes in it. So you can see in, you can see it. And it had like a black hoodie or something in it.
Did it start laughing at you?
It started laughing at me.
That's terrifying in and of itself.
It was the little the Muttley laugh, which I know is my daughter because it's my favorite laugh in the world. And I turn around and then she pulls the stuff up. She pops up. She's like, "Hey, Dad," or Dad, or whatever she would say back then. And I went from complete terror to complete relief. Then that went to anger, and then that went into like, "I love you, boo. Come here." And held her, but I was scared shitless. Like, it's a panic. You always watch those shows on Dateline when people lose their kids or they're running around like on our summer vacation and their kid got lost, and
yeah.
That feeling was almost paralyzing, but at the same time, it was a nice happy ending. And they laugh about this like crazy now.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, they love it. My wife thinks it's the best. I'm like, if that had not ended that way, I wouldn't be here right now.
You would have ended a different way.
Yep, I'd be done. Dunzo.
There'd only be 2 child Messersmiths.
So my wife would be on this podcast, right?
She'd probably be better at it anyway.
I think both our wives would be better at it, even though we can't get them in these seats.
I know.
So do you like these special spooky episodes?
I like them probably about once a year.
Twice a year.
When's the other
spooky episode? Christmas.
Yeah. Why?
No, Groundhog Day.
Why?
Those fucking things are creepy.
If there was any day you could have picked, it should have been Easter because, zombie Jesus.
True. Should we talk about zombie Jesus? Zombie Jesus. That's why I didn't understand that term. You didn't say it right.
Well, then I think it probably wouldn't be zombie.
It'd be Hombi?
No. You are terrible at the Spanish language.
No, I am.
It's a wonder you're even Mexican.
Yeah, but we've discussed this. I'm only Mexican from the waist down. Bitty bitty bum bum. Well, you should let the fans know.
I should?
Yeah.
About what?
Well, what this show is about.
I still don't know. How many episodes are we in now?
45, 55, 80.
45, 55, 80.
Oh, sorry, that's my measurements. Sorry. I always get that confused.
Very large caps.
I look like is it Grimace?
Yes, and accurate.
Yep.
Wait, do you mean what this episode's about?
Yeah, this is Dia de los Slagos.
Day of the Lakes?
Miotos Slogos. Slangos.
Dia de los Slangos.
By Chef Boyardee. Slangos. These were my favorite.
Dia de los Slangos. It is a celebration of, today anyway, spooky slang.
Scary slang. Scary spice?
Spice rack? Tire rack?
Nordstrom rack? You like my scary voice?
Sure.
Should we end it on my scary voice?
It's better than ending it on your Australian voice.
Well, that didn't sound Australian, did it?
No, that sounded like that shark, but like on Halloween dressed as something else.
Dressed as like a tuna? Bucktooth tuna?
Bucktooth tuna.
Band name.
Bucktooth tuna?
Yeah. A new hit song, Stinky Pete's.
off the number 1 album, Chicken of the Sea.
All right. I'm Dano.
And I'm Mateo.
So what am I?
Yo soy Mateo.
Yo soy Añelo.
No, you'd be Danielle.
I am Danielle. Yeah.
And not just on Thursdays at the strip club.
Yeah. I'm Danielle.
Yo soy Danielle.
And I hope we do. Actually, we've been screwing around a little bit on this episode, and it's a little longer than usual. So if you guys hung out for this whole time, thank you. It's awesome. I hope
if you didn't, we understand. We didn't even want to hang out this long.
Yeah. Been forced to. But we hopefully will do something like this again, especially if we hear back from any of you guys. And obviously there's probably some words we didn't even think of because my co-host isn't that smart. He's just really pretty, and he's got a really soothing voice.
I take offense to that. I am neither of those things.
All right. But thank you for listening, guys. And gals.
Yeah.
And ghosts and monsters. In heathens.
Welcome to the show.
I want to bite your neck.
I want to talk about slang. I want to slang your words.
Oh, we're pushing. You're trying to right now.
Oh, I'm trying too hard?
No.
At least I sound like fucking Dracula.
No, you sound like Count Chocula or whatever his name is.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Try this delicious breakfast cereal.
1,
That's the count. I can do that.
2.
How many stupid intros are we going to do for this? 1, 2, 3 stupid intros. You don't do it right.
What do you mean? I even acted it out. You just sit there with your arms crossed, look like a sad
No,
child.
but if we're doing the count, he goes,
You sound like a robot.
Yeah,
You
so
want me to do it
count.
for no, he does it like this. He sounds like this. You gotta have a soul when you say it. Well, no, you gotta not have a soul because he's dead. He's a vampire, right?
Well, then you've got this one covered. Go ahead.
See? Tomato.
You know, you use that phrase a lot, and I do.
Tomato. Oh.
That sounded like maybe Samuel L. Jackson trying to be a vampire.